But add to what you were asking. For myself, I definitely believe in regional, local art and how to resuscitate, revive it,
Sure.
continue and make it a flame. One of the things that's really inspired me as a college student, more than 15 years ago, was the Situationist International. The slogan that they emblazoned on the walls of Paris, May '68, all part of the imagination, and their struggle against, their utter refusal to accept boredom. The boredom was something that they had to reject and destroy by all possible means. So I think in that sense, when I was talking to Al Cave, one of my friends that I mentioned earlier, he was saying that one of the maybe slogans for us is transgression and insurgency. So.
No, then I guess you would say that SOS is kind of like your personal rejection of boredom?
Is it personal or is it collective, or both at the same time?
Yeah, I think it's probably both. It's probably both. Now, do you feel like in the Midwest there's more of an uphill battle than in other parts of the country, if you're talking about this country?
What do you mean talking about this country?
As a whole, artistically, in terms of like the overall arts community, do you think there's more? Do you think there's more of a battle in this region, like in the Midwest?
I'm not so familiar with like the New York scene or the West Coast scene, but I gather that there's a very, like for example, one of my relatives live in New York. He's a photographer, and the reason he wants to live in New York is because that's where the mecca of the global photographers are. You get to meet all the people, linkages, connections. But I think the Midwest has something that the West Coast or East Coast doesn't have, which is a sense of authenticity. Because when you go to New York, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not trying to be prejudicial to the New Yorkers or the West Coast people, but there is always this fear of not being up to par with the trends. They have to always be doing something new, innovative. It's almost like a cycle of commodification, and that tends to create all kinds of bullshit, superficiality, people kissing asses, nothing to do really with art. But here, I think people are very much more down to earth because we have nothing to lose because we lost everything. Money, jobs, lives. And I think the very fact that we're looked down upon, at least back in the 50s, by many West, like for example, Bukowski could never publish in the East Coast publication, neither could Steinbeck, because they were considered to be from backward regions as compared to New York. But being from backward region, I think it has a lot of advantages, this linkage to the place of deracination, exploitation, expropriation, suffering, which I don't want to make a cliche out of this, but those are sources of really authentic art, real feelings, which must be the basis of any kind of art, I think, regardless of what form it takes.
Now, I know that you guys are predominantly meeting outside of class, and it's like an outside thing. Now, is there another class that you're teaching, I guess, like next semester, where a lot of you will meet up again?
I hope we continue to meet, regardless of, even if I get fired, I hope we keep meeting.
And you might, so.
I'm teaching only part-time, so I'll be gone after a year anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I said, most of us know each other, or at least know and love each other. So.
Yeah,
We'll learn
with
each other.
everybody.
I'll probably keep in touch with everybody here except Joe.
Of course, I don't blame you, but
Who's to say without saying?
Well, all right. I guess I'm cool, and I just hope you guys keep coming back. It's been fantastic, and I want to do as much with you as we can. So, because I really, myself in particular, but Mike as well, I have a lot of leeway in this building to do a lot of things. So, if
Sounds
the
pretty suggestive, I'm sorry.
yeah. So,
Basically, because nobody else wants to do anything.
yeah. Have any of you guys seen the theater here?
No.
I have. I saw, what is it, that movie about not Joe Hill, but the Wobbly a few years ago. I think it was Injury to One.
Yeah, but we, for any of you who haven't seen it, we have a 600-seat theater here that was actually built in 1905. So
The year the Wobblies were founded, man. God damn.
Anyway, I'd be more than happy to take you guys through sometime if you ever want to check it out as
Oh,
well.
it's fantastic.
But, because I have keys to everything.
Cool.
All right, but I thank you guys. Cool. Cheers.
Thank you very much.
No problem. I will get to work transcribing the.
Tour right now, we're turning to a ghost tour.
Oh, yeah, we're not going to get into that, Mike.
Okay.
Not unless you give me some weed, and then maybe I'll see some ghosts. Maybe.